An unexpectedly chilly day here in Madison, New Jersey. A very special broadcast here on RVision. Today we have the Rutgers Football Tri-State Showcase on the campus of Fairleigh Dickinson University, Florham Park. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here on RVision. I'm Chris Carlin, and very special opportunity for a lot of young, aspiring high school football players who want to take their game to the next level. An attendance of well over 700 expected. That number could inflate over 800 of different kids from across the tri-state region, and a chance for them to show their wares in front of an awful lot of coaching staffs, including 3 very prominent coaching staffs. The camp, of course, sponsored and hosted by Rutgers University. Also in attendance is Ohio State University and their head coach Urban Meyer, and Matt Rule, the head coach at Temple, also here as well with his staff. But several other schools among Division I, 1AA, Division II, and Division III are represented here today. So you get a chance for a lot of young players still in high school to show what they can do in front of coaching staffs that otherwise maybe they wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to do that. So it is a unique situation for these kids to get a chance to really shine in front of not only some prominent coaches, but there's some coaches as well that can offer them some opportunities in the future. We have returned to the Rutgers Football Tri-State Showcase here at Fairleigh Dickinson University in Madison, New Jersey, and good enough to join us, Rutgers' new defensive coordinator, Jay Niemann. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So give us a sense here of a camp like this, an opportunity for kids to get in front of some coaches that maybe they wouldn't necessarily get in front of. Tell me about how this all came together with Coach Ash.
Well, it's just an opportunity for kids to go to a camp, and instead of just being hosted by one institution at their facility, to take it outside the campus and have a number of other colleges and universities coaching staffs be represented, so the players have an opportunity to be evaluated by multiple staffs on the same day. So it's a great opportunity for the kids. They get to not only be able to be coached by some of the top coaches around the country, but they also get to compete against some of the finer players in this Jersey area and surrounding areas because of the number of kids that are attending the camp.
Now, as a coach out here today, you're teaching, you're evaluating too. So what are the things that in a short period of time with so many kids here you can look for?
Well, obviously the thing that you look at first is just speed and quickness and agility. You get a height and a weight, accurate measurements. But within the drills, you're looking for kids who can focus and concentrate on the coaching points, guys who can take coaching, guys who look you in the eye when you're giving them coaching points, some of the intangible kinds of things that you wouldn't get by just watching a film.
As a defensive coach, the way the game has evolved, is speed the number one thing that you would look for in your ideal player now?
Well, it depends a little bit on the position. Of course, if you're looking at secondary players and somewhat with the linebackers, yes. With the D linemen, not as much the case. But speed matters in all positions for sure.
As you look at the first few months on the job at Rutgers, what are the things that have impressed you? What's really jumped out at you about this opportunity here in the Big Ten?
Well, it's just a terrific group of players that we have to work with on campus. I've been really impressed with the work ethic and the attitude of our team. Obviously, we're going to get to compete in the top level of all college football conferences across the country by being in the Big Ten East, and you know, it's just a great opportunity for all of us that are here to be a part of this program at this point in time.
And you have coached all across the country in your career. What have you noticed about being in New Jersey, being in the Northeast here through your first few months?
Well, one thing for sure about football is it's not the same everywhere, not only in terms of the quality, but in terms of the emphasis that's put on it. And I think the high school coaches and the student athletes here do a great job competing if they're the player and coaching if they're the coach. I mean, there's an emphasis put on it, not an emphasis that's out of proportion with the education and the things that should come first, but you can tell that people care about their programs and their ability to compete.
Rutgers' new offensive coordinator is Drew Mehringer, joining us here on RVision. Coach, appreciate a couple of minutes. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You know, this is pretty cool. We were talking to Coach Niemann a few minutes ago about the opportunity for these kids to get in front of some coaches that normally they wouldn't. But what about you guys? What about the chance to get around a lot of different coaches on every level now, and exchange ideas?
You know, I think the satellite camp discussion, satellite camp mania, even as it's been called, has been a bit of a controversial topic. But you look out here, not necessarily like in favor or not in favor of satellite camp. That's not the point. I think the point is that if you're a player from this area, you're going to get evaluated on every single level of ball. You're going to have an opportunity to get evaluated, and if you want to play college football later on in your life, you're going to have that chance coming out to a camp like this, like the Tri-State Showcase.
And now, I asked Coach Niemann this a few minutes ago. I'll ask you the same thing. This is really your first opportunity to coach in the Northeast,
Yep.
so to speak. You were at Ohio State with Coach Ash at one point. What's the experience been like, especially for a Texas guy like yourself?
To be honest with you, it's been great. I think that anywhere you go, people make the difference, and we've been unbelievably well received. It's been exciting. I get asked all the time, what's been the biggest surprise since you've been at Rutgers? And the biggest surprise has been the fan support, the alumni support, the administrative support, and the Rutgers Nation, I think, rallying around after an interesting time period, that's happened, but in a new coach, a new staff that's not all Jersey people at all, but they've come and really come behind us and been supportive, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Coaching under Coach Ash,
Yes.
What's that experience like? Especially, you've seen him before as a coordinator, but now as a head coach.
I think the greatest thing that Coach Ash does is he is unbelievably motivated and disciplined, but with that, he is also extremely detail-oriented. He's great to work for. He has got very clear expectations. Sometimes they're very demanding of you, but it's not something that you can't get done. He's not going to let you slide, but he's not going to create an environment where you don't want to come to work for him every day. He calls it demotivators. He doesn't want to demotivate you as an employee, as a coach, as a player. He wants to motivate you and empower you, but he has certain expectations that he holds you to, and it's been great. That's working in Coach Ash's program has been awesome.
Okay, now you've brought in a new offensive system with the spread offense. You got a chance to see it through 15 practices on the field in the spring. How has the talent that you have on the roster adapted to it so far?
I think that's been one of the interesting questions that we get. Well, you guys were a 12 personnel, 21 personnel pro-style team, under center, huddled, all this kind of stuff. And we want to look a little bit different than they did this past year. But I think to our guys' credit, they have adapted, embraced our offensive culture. They've embraced what we're trying to do, and really come around in a manner that I don't think we as an offensive staff expected that they would. I don't necessarily know how good we're going to be just yet. There's obviously a big learning curve when you make a transition of that magnitude from really polar opposite ends of the spectrum. But our kids have been phenomenal in their work ethic and their dedication to coming in and trying to execute what we're asking them to do.
And lastly, part of this showcase tonight, what are you going to be looking for as a coach? What are you looking for from your prospective kids coming in, guys who are just trying to catch someone's eye?
The things that I look for are, number one, is he competitive? Can he come out here and compete? Is he afraid to compete? Does he want to get more reps? And is he going to try and fight his way to get to the front of the line? Because that guy's going to be also the same guy that's going to go out on critical down and distances. That's going to go compete for that extra yard. Is he a guy that can comprehend what we're coaching? Everybody coaches things a little bit differently. His high school coach coaches something a little bit differently. But when we're in a drill work setting, okay, hey, I want to see this from you. Okay, you didn't get that one right. Okay, what's his response? Is it that's not the way that I do things? Or is it something like, okay, like tell me how you want it to get done? And then can he go out and execute it? What's his learning? What's his comprehension? And then does he like to have fun? This is the greatest game that God's ever made, in my opinion. And there's a lot of places you could be right now. There's a lot of things you could be doing, but they're out here. Is he having fun? Is he just out here because some of the other kids on his team or his parents made him come out here? But if he's having fun, that's the kind of guy I want to be around.
We have returned to the Rutgers Football Tri-State Showcase here at Fairleigh Dickinson in Madison. Chris Carlin joined by Rutgers head coach Chris Ash. So why was it important for you to put this camp together?
It wasn't really important to me as we thought about satellite camps and really what the purpose of the camps are and all the great players here in the state of New Jersey. This gives them an opportunity to come out, be evaluated, be coached, and have a fun night of football. And that's really what this is about. I wanted to be able to take Rutgers, our brand, our style of coaching, partner up with some of these other great programs and coaches and go out and put a great event on for these guys.
When you look at the turnout for an event like this, and you get so many kids from the tri-state area, and specifically here in New Jersey, it's got to be very encouraging to see that kind of a response to come out for an event like this.
There's no doubt to be able to have an event like this and this type of response is honestly, it's humbling. It's very exciting, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to come to Rutgers, because if we do it right and people get really excited about what we're doing, we're going to have a chance to swing and get some really good recruits and get this thing going the way we want it to go.
Coach, what has excited you the most about your first half year on the job at Rutgers?
The players buy into what we want to do, the belief in our coaching staff, the way we want to do business, our plan, the way we want them to practice, the way we want them to train, the way we want them to take care of their body. They've bought in extremely fast. It's been at a very high level, and the foundation that we've been able to lay in a short amount of time is exciting.
You know, you changed kind of an energy level that was around the program. How were you attempting to do that at the beginning? What were the things that you needed to do to really get it headed into a more positive energy around the program?
Well, the start, our plan was to win the locker room. We needed to create great relationships with those kids. We needed to change the way that they trained, the way that they were going to be coached, and I think we were able to do that in a short amount of time. We thought if the players in that locker room bought into us and felt like we were making them better and helping them improve, and we were going to coach them extremely hard, and they felt like we cared about them, that the word would start to spread, and it has, and it did pretty fast. You
know, throughout the spring we got to hear from some of your assistants. We've heard from a couple here today. When you were assembling this staff, you put a lot of different personalities together, but were there specific traits that you were looking for in these guys?
Absolutely. If you look at the staff, there are older guys, experienced guys, there's younger guys that are energetic and highly motivated to keep moving up in the coaching profession. But the three things, regardless of experience, age, position, that I wanted guys with high character. I wanted guys that I could trust, the players could trust. I wanted guys that could connect with the players and show the players that we care about them. And I wanted guys that were really good football coaches, and not just football coaches, but would coach the way I wanted them to coach. And I think I hit a home run with the staff.
You know, before the event tonight, you spoke to the entire turnout of kids here, somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 or 800, something like that. What was your message to them?
Come out here and have fun. That was the number one thing. But with that being said, pay attention, go extremely hard, be coachable, listen, ask good questions, learn, and make yourself better. If you're here to get evaluated, there's a ton of coaches that are here to watch you. So watch what you're doing, but at the end of the day, make sure you're having fun.
And you know what you're always going to be looking for in terms of a player's ability, but are those the things that, as a coach, you are first and foremost looking for?
Absolutely. Everybody talks about the 40, the vertical jump, the bench press, change of direction. All those things are really important. But for us and the players that we want in our program right now at this point, we want guys that go extremely hard, have a passion for the game, they're very coachable, they listen, they do things right.
What have you and your family enjoyed the most about New Jersey so far?
The drive from home to work. That's about it right now.
That's about all you've gotten to experience.
That's it. Yeah. We have found some good pizza. And we're still looking for more great places to eat. People talk about the shore a lot.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully we'll get there at some point in the summer and check it out for a day or two. But no, we haven't had a chance to do a whole lot. My family gets it. They're all in, and we're all trying to make Rutgers a great place. And we haven't had a chance to do much. So.
Chris Carlin, joined by Rutgers Director of Strength and Conditioning. He is Kenny Parker. How are you, Coach?
Outstanding. How are you?
Doing very well, and you have brought a new energy. I think that's safe to say. So when you walked in the door, what were you looking at and trying to accomplish right away?
I wouldn't say I brought energy. I'd like to say our head coach did, and I just followed his lead. Whatever he needs me to do, I'll do it.
All right, well, with that in mind, when you came in the door, what were the biggest goals you had right away?
Reestablishing the culture. They had a bad year last year. That's last year, who cares? There's nothing you can do about last year. There's nothing you can do about yesterday. It's just reestablishing who you want to be in life, who we want to be in life, and make sure we establish that culture and uphold that culture.
You know, you're dealing with players who you've never dealt with before, and you're walking in the door. They didn't sign up for necessarily this staff. So what was your message to some of these guys when you first dealt with them?
Very simple. You have a fresh start. Whether it was good, bad, indifferent, regardless of whatever your situation was, you have a fresh start. A lot of times, a lot of things don't happen the way you wanted to go, but you know what? Just dig deep, grind it out, and get better.
You know, folks may not realize, but you are probably the coach on the staff that spends the most time with the players.
I agree to that.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, I mean, tell me about the identity of the guys as a whole that you've kind of noticed so far.
I said they're trying to find themselves. That's the biggest thing I can say that. Are they better? Absolutely they're better. Since day one, oh God, it was a bad day. But how they are now, have they bought in? Yes. Are they 100%? I can't say that yet. You still got a whole summer to go through. We got a lot of things we got to grow up on and just get better and develop that chemistry that you need for that type of team.
When you had day one and they went through what you put them through, what were the reactions? And keep it clean. We are on the website for Rutgers here.
Long way to go.
Yeah.
Completely raw. I'm not saying what they did was wrong, just different from what we do.
Yeah.
With I kind of pinpoint who we are, we're very unorthodox. But you know what, it works. It's been very good to us over the years, so it does work.
Did you hear an awful lot of groaning?
Still hear that. Still hear that, but it's not a bad thing. The groaning's not a bad thing. As long as you have the right attitude, right effort, you'll be all right.
You know, you came out here earlier and stretching the guys out, getting them ready to go, setting the tone for an evening like this. These younger players, as a strength and conditioning coach, what are the one or two things that are really the important tenets for them to know about trying to prepare themselves to play at the next level?
The first two things, well, the things I just said, attitude and effort. If you got I don't really care how good you are. If you have a crappy attitude, most coaches are not going to look at you. You got a bad background, maybe you do some things that you're not supposed to be doing. Good chance you're not going to get noticed too many times. You might have an occasional school here or there take a chance on you, but a lot of schools don't want to do that no more. You know?
Now, with this being, you've been an assistant strength and conditioning coach before. This is the first time that you've been fully in charge of it. What's that been like for you?
Well, technically it's the second time. I was the head guy at Murray State.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. You're right.
But it's a great opportunity. I have a head coach who believes in everything that I do and that we do. We definitely in sync. I wouldn't have left Ohio State for anybody but Chris Ash. His principles, things that he believed in, the same things that I believe in. So saying that it was hard to leave, no, it wasn't. You know, I had plenty of opportunities to leave and go with the other guys, but I just didn't feel like it was the right fit. I wasn't in a rush. But with Chris Ash, it was a no-brainer. I was like, okay, when we're leaving. It wasn't like, okay, let's talk numbers. It wasn't about numbers. It's about just believing in a man who believes in me and I believe in him.
As the players have started to arrive on campus and get on campus for workouts, getting ready for training camp, what are the primary things that you're putting them through right now? Is it about strength? Is it about speed? Or is it just about everything right now?
I say all the above what you just said. Strength, speed, teaching them how to take care of their body. Really stressing that. From the sleeping, the hydration, just the little small things that really do make a difference in an athlete. You know, as demanding as this sport is, especially the elite athletes, you better take care of your body. Your body's going to break down. So we stress that just as hard as making sure they're in great shape, making sure they are strong, make sure they are fast, make sure they're tough, make sure they develop chemistry. We are stressing recovery as well.
And, you know, it's funny, you walk around the Hale Center now, and you've got an awful lot of signs all over the place in reference to that, giving kids an opportunity to see a fact about hydration, a fact about protein that they may not have known before.
Durability is more important than ability. I heard a coach tell me that a while ago, and that's really stuck to me ever since then. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not healthy, you're not helping nobody. Just take all the great athletes you've seen over the years, pro, college, it don't matter. If they're not healthy, how can they help? They can't help. So we stress you better take care of your dang body because you only have one of them.
Last one. You're a Southern guy.
I am.
Anything surprise you about New Jersey so far?
I hate the weather. It's too cold.
Oh, come on. It's the first day it's been cold in June.
It's June. It is 52 degrees.
I know, but only for a little while. Let's warm it up now.
Other than that, I love the people. I love the people. I love the atmosphere. I love the whole thing about the school. I love the school. I really do love the atmosphere about it. The people has definitely welcomed us with warm arms, and they welcome my family. My family got here Sunday, so it's been a great opportunity, and just looking forward to getting my kids and my wife around this area more.
Kenny, thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate it.
Kenny Parker, he is Rutgers Director of Strength and Conditioning, joining us here at the Rutgers Football Tri-State Showcase. That's going to do it for us here on RVision at Fairleigh Dickinson University in Madison. For all of our coaches and Coach Chris Ash, want to thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Carlin. Enjoy the rest of your day.